Hi beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. So in today's tutorial I'll be showing you the sewing part of this beautiful Victoria corset flared dress. I've already posted the cutting part of the upper body, that's the upper part of the dress. So in this video you'll be seeing both the sewing part and the cutting of the 720-degree peplum flare. So make sure you watch this video till end. Do not skip any parts. So in case you've not seen the video of the cutting parts, I will drop the link in the description box. Thank you so very much. As you can see, I have already cut out all the panels. I did the cutting parts with a pattern paper. Now I've already transferred them to the fabric, both the lining, and I've ironed my hairstay, my wedding. I ironed hairstay on both the main fabric and the lining. Then I ironed wedding on the front part of both the lining and the hairstay. The lining and the hairstay, the front parts, can you see that? So I ironed wedding on them. So that's what it is. So let me go ahead and join them. You already know how to do this. So after joining them, I went ahead to cut out the yoke, as you can see. So that's the yoke part, the front part. Remember, the center front is open. So this is the yoke. I've already trimmed it out. I have done so many videos on how to trim, so I couldn't film the trimming part. Can you see? So I have to cut it out. Then I'll be replacing the yoke with a net fabric. So this is my net. I cut it on fold. Just look at what I'm doing. Can you see? This is the front part, so you have to be on fold because you can't cut the center of the net now. Can you see? So I have to cut it on fold because I'm going to join the center front. So after joining it, I will now stitch the net. Can you see how I'm going to join it? That's the center. That's the two center fronts. So I will join them together. Then after joining them, I will now go ahead and stitch the net, then turn it with the lining. So this is my casing, this is my boning. It's 2 inches, so I have to fold it. Can you see what I'm doing? I folded it into 2. Then I will now stitch it. Then after stitching, I will now turn it, then close the casing. Can you see my lining? It's the same thing with the main fabric. So these are the 2 lining. So I will now go ahead and do that. Then I will come back and show you. Can you see my casing? So it depends on how many casing you want to stitch on your dress. Like me, I have about 12 casing, both for the front and the back part. So this is the back part of my dress. This is the main fabric. Can you see? So these are the 2 sides. These are the 2 sides. So I'm going to stitch casing on about 2 places. Can you see the yoke of the back? So this is the back part of my dress. So I will still replace the yoke part with net fabric. Can you see my net? Please remember to double your net. You can double it like 3 or you can use 2. It depends on the quality of your net fabric. So I'll go ahead and do that. So I'll come back and show you what it look like. So guys, this is what the upper body of my dress look like. I've turned it with the lining after stitching the yoke, and now turn it with the lining. I've stitched all the bony casings, and I've inserted the boning inside the casings. So let's go ahead and cut the down parts. So remember, the down part of my dress is flared. So because of that, my round waist, that's my upper waist, that's under my under bust, is 33 inches. So I have to divide 33 inches into 2 because I'm cutting 720-degree peplon. You get? So I have to divide 33 into 2. Then when I divide 33 into 2, it give me 16 point something. So I will now divide that 16 points. That's 16.5. I will now divide it with 6.28 because I'm cutting 720. If it was 360-degree peplon, I have to just, what I need to do is just to divide 33 by 6.28. But because I'm cutting double flay, so I have to divide it by 2 before I will now divide it by 6.28. So whatever it gives me, that will serve as my radius. Can you see? So I have to fold my fabric into 4. Then like I folded it twice. When you fold the first one, you now fold the second one. So that will now be, you will now have 4 layers. Can you see what I'm doing? So I will now add my radius. I will add my radius to the length of my flay. The length of this flay is 25 inches. So I will now add my radius. My radius is about 2.6. That is 33 divided by 2. Then that'll give me 16 point something. Then I will now divide that 16 point something by 6.28. So now I will go ahead and measure out my radius, which is 2 points, either 2.6 or something. So that's the measurement I'm taking now. So I'm going to be cutting 2 of it because it is a 720-degree peplon. Please take notes. So I have to cut this into 2. I have to cut 2 of this. After cutting the first one, I will go ahead and cut the second one. So what I have on fold, the length of what I have on fold now is 27.6. So after measuring my radius, I'll go ahead and measure the length of the flay. That's what I'm doing right now. So the length of the flay is 25 inches. So that is the measurement I'm taking now. Remember I said I divided my round underbust into 2. My round underbust is 33, so I divided it into 2. So that gives me 16.5. So because it's a 720-degree peplon, so I have to divide that 16.5 into, I have to divide it with 6.28. So whatever I have is my radius. So that is the first measurement, the first cycle measurement I took before taking the length of the flay. If it was just 360, what I need to do is just to divide 33 by 6.28. So that's what it is. So I'll go ahead and cut out my radius. This is the radius. This is the part that will be around my waist. So now this is the length of the flay, which is 25 inches. Please, whatever you don't understand, let me know in the comment section. Thank you so very much. Can you see? So this is what it is. So I will go ahead and cut another one. That is why the flay is very full. We have about 1020 peplon and we still have 1400 and something. So that's how the flay are being cut. So it depends on what you want to achieve. So after that, the next thing I will do was to stitch my crinoline at the down part. Can you see? So I've stitched the crinoline. So after stitching the crinoline, I stitch it from the front part. So the next thing I will do is to push the sewing allowance to the crinoline side. Then I will now top stitch. That's what I'm doing right now. So I'll go ahead and top stitch on the crinoline. Please don't top stitch on the main dress. Top stitch on the part where the crinoline is. And remember to push your sewing allowance, that is your seam allowance, to that part. So I'll go ahead and top stitch. So after top stitching, can you see? Can you see what it look like? This dress is very beautiful. Like when you see the owner wear it, it's a very lovely dress. Can you see? So after top stitching, I will give it a good press before I will now stitch the crinoline together with the dress. So I will now stitch it. This is 2 inches crinoline. You can use 3 inches, you can use 1 inch. It depends on what you want. This particular one is 2 inches. Remember, I did not start my stitching from the beginning. I give a space of 2 inches. You can do 1.5 or 1 inch. It's still okay. Can you see what my dress look like? That's the down part. So I'm done stitching. I'm done with the crinoline. Can you see that? So after doing this, you go ahead and iron your dress very well. Give it a very good press. So these are the clothes I did during the festive period. There was too much work to be done, so that's why I couldn't do all the editing and all that, and people were just coming to pick their clothes, so I couldn't film the clothes. I couldn't snap the clients because there was no time for all that. So this is the place that will be around the waist. Can you see? So I will now pick the upper part of my dress. So this is the upper part. So the next thing I will do is to go ahead and join the down part and the upper part of my dress together. So I will have to indicate the midpoint of both the down parts and the upper parts. So remember to do that, because that's where you're starting your stitching from, so that one part will not be longer than the other. So I'll go ahead and do that. So after stitching them together, I will now pick my lining and stitch on top, so that you will not see the sewing at the half length. You get what I'm saying? So I have to join the main dress, the upper part to the down part, before I will now pick my lining. I will now stitch the lining on top, then I will use it to cover the half length sewing. Can you see what it is? So this is it, so that you don't see all that sewing, those same allowance. So I'm done joining the down parts and the upper part together. So the next thing I will do is to join the shoulder. I will join the 2 shoulders of my dress. So after joining it, please remember to fold that knit, the sewing allowance, the shoulder. Remember to fold it inside so that the sewing allowance will not show. Some people don't do that and it doesn't look good. Can you see what my dress look like? So I went ahead to fix the zip to the down parts. Can you see that? So the next thing I will do is to do my eyelets. So guys, that is it. That is all about this beautiful dress. Please remember to subscribe to my channel if you are coming across my channel for the first time, and also give this video a thumbs up. Please, if you come across this video, do me well by sharing it to others, for others to see. So after sewing, you go ahead and if you have applique, it depends on what your client paid, then you can design the cloth with as many applique as you can. Thank you so very much. See you now.